Okay, if you guys want to check for me, should be live. So are we expecting anybody else? What are we doing here? I mean, somebody tell them to get in here then. Okay, they should be able to hear you now.
Alrighty, everyone. If you can hear us, go ahead and type Panda in the chat.
Oh god, that delay is going to kill me.
Oh yeah, the delay is going to be horrible, but we're going to have to go through it.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mute that.
Perfect. We will try our best with the delay. Thank you so much, chat. I love you. I adore you. Welcome, everyone, to our DSFL draft for this year. Super excited to be with you to welcome in this 104 prospect draft. I am Bex. I am your commissioner of the league. I am a member of head office, player for the New Orleans second line, general weirdo that they let do things here. I have a couple of guests here representing our rookie mentor team. We have Mr. Issa Starcross. Go ahead and say a little bit about yourself.
I'm Issa Starcross. Like Beck said, I'm with the Rookie Mentors team. I'm also in the war room for Norfolk and in New Orleans.
Wonderful, wonderful. We also have with us our brand new DSFL streamer here, Deadly Player. Also, you'll hear him called Franchette. Franchette, say a little bit about yourself.
Well, they don't call me Fireball Franchette for no reason. Best DSFL rookie ever to come out of the DSFL, so there you go.
It is true. Alrighty. And so we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a second. I have to say my very, mom thing here. No matter where you get drafted, we're so excited to have you all here as part of the league. Whether you're first round or sixth round. We're all so hyped to have you part of our little community. And if you go the first round, great, celebrate that. If you go towards the end, realize that you are going to be such a steal. You stay around, you stay active, stay engaged. So that's my little soapbox. Thank you for letting me do my thing there. And with that, we are going to go ahead and turn to our board here. We have, so our expansion teams go at the top of the draft order. So Norfolk and Kansas City alternate top round picks. So odd rounds have Norfolk first, even rounds have Kansas City first. And then other than that, it is the season standings order. And as you can see, there have been some previous trades from previous drafts to give picks over to other teams. We might see some other draft pick trades as we go along here. So, without further ado, we're going to turn to the first pick of this draft, to Norfolk. We are going to be taking Cal Littis. This guy is my Sim League son. I love him. He came in and said, I hear it's going to be tough to be a quarterback, but I'm going to do it anyway. Which for me embodies that Norfolk spirit of you're going to tell me I can't do it, and I'm going to still try my hardest.
Yeah, and absolutely. And Norfolk is also trying to build a locker room, and it's really good to get to start with a guy like Cal that's going to be down for a couple seasons.
Absolutely. Becomes that kind of pillar for the team. So, super excited to have Cal. That'll move us on to our second pick of the draft to Kansas City. They're going to be taking Douglas Quaid from user Hendrix. So this one, Kansas City really wanted to go for someone that they knew was going to be a solid player to have. Hendrix is a recreate. He's been in the league for a while. Obviously, defense is always a need, and so they decided to go for Mr. Quaid here.
Yeah, when you're trying to build from scratch, you really want to take guys that you know you can rely on.
Absolutely. All right, and that'll bring us to our third pick here, to the Portland Pythons. They are going to be taking George O'Donnell from user Leafer. Leafer is another recreate, so another guy that you know is going to be super solid. He knows his stuff around sim leagues. And actually, super fun fact about him. He was the quarterback for Portland in season 5 and season 6. So
and
it is sort of
his
homecoming.
last player is also a legendary Baltimore linebacker that currently holds the record for tackles.
Indeed, which is very exciting stuff. So very excited to have him. That'll move us to our 4th pick to Myrtle Beach. They're going to be taking Jeffrey LeVere, which is probably a shock to no one. Jeffrey came to Myrtle Beach on waivers. Seemed like a really, really great fit for the culture over there. So it's no surprise to me to see him go back home in the draft.
Yeah, there's not enough to say about Jeff. Everybody knows who he is. He's been all over the Discords for the last month. It's insane how active he is.
Absolutely. We love him. I'm excited to see how he does now that he's got a full season to spend with those Beach Boys. That'll move us into pick number 5 for Tijuana. They will be taking Ed Barker, user Wombat. Wombat's a PBE guy, super solid. Went to Tijuana on waivers as well. Same with Jeff's situation in Myrtle Beach. And obviously Tijuana fell in love here and wanted to make sure that they could get him back home. Perfect. That'll bring us to our final pick of the first round to Minnesota. And they're going to be taking Matt Murphy, a safety here, user M Sombrero. So this guy was the top of Minnesota's draft board basically since Ultimus Week, until the moment they picked him. He's quieter on Discord, which is maybe one of the reasons he didn't go in the first 5 picks. But top earner since the trade deadline, has been blowing up media stuff on the forums. And Minnesota's really, really excited to be able to bring him on board.
Yeah, and I've heard nothing but good things about him from the other guys that joined around the same time he did. So
Absolutely. So hopefully going to be a great pick for Minnesota there. That'll bring us to the top of round 2 here with Kansas City. They are going to be trading. So Minnesota is going to receive Kansas City's 2nd round pick, as well as their round 10 pick for this draft. And Kansas City will be receiving Minnesota's round 2 pick and Minnesota round 8 pick, as well as Alan Josh. I don't remember what position Alan Josh is, but always good to have those inactive pieces to play with as well. So that'll bring us to Minnesota again now for number 7. And they are taking Holden Summers from user Semi-Charmed Mike. Another guy who I have seen everywhere on Discord. He's been super around. Obviously a pretty critical position on the defensive side. And they knew that they needed to go for defense as soon as possible.
yeah, absolutely. And Alan Joss was also a linebacker, so really they just traded an inactive for an active here.
Perfect. Awesome sauce. That'll bring us to the next Norfolk pick at number 8. We're trading. So we are receiving Tijuana's round 2, so we're moving back in the 2nd, as well as Tijuana's round 9. We're also receiving Michael Rood, Momoduo Jallo, and Lo Mein, so 3 inactives for us. While Tijuana is receiving our round 2 and our round 9. So we're basically flipping in those 2 rounds. This is smart for Norfolk for one big reason, in that our GM is in this draft. So we have to take him in the 2nd. So moving back to try and get those other working pieces is just a smart move here. So that'll turn number 8 into a Tijuana pick, and Tijuana will be taking the Executioner, Another user who's come in strong to try and make it at the quarterback position, and obviously has been succeeding in catching attention. So Tijuana is going to be moving in the executioner direction here. That'll go ahead and move us into pick number 9 for Portland. They will be taking a trade. So they are receiving Tijuana's round 3 pick, round 4 pick, as well as their round 6 pick, as rounds 2 and 7 for next draft. Tijuana is going to be receiving pick number 9 for this draft. So a bit of a steep trade here. Obviously, whoever they're taking at pick 9 is someone that they really want to make sure that they have. It's a little bit of revenge, quote unquote. There was a pretty famous large trade between Portland and Tijuana a couple of seasons back, and I think Saba was interested in trying to have that go the other direction this time. And obviously it worked. So we'll go ahead and see who they're picking at spot number 9 now. They're going to be taking Emmanuel Blackstone, Nunk. Obviously someone that Tijuana loves very, very much.
Yeah, Nunk is a legendary Tijuana player. He really built a lot of the foundations of what Tijuana is today. And Saba was kind of making some plays, saying that Nunk was going to go to Portland if they didn't trade for him. So he really twisted Tijuana's arm on this one.
Absolutely. But he's going to be a great fit, and obviously he's going home. So how can you be mad about that? Cool. That'll move us into pick number 10 for Myrtle Beach. They are taking Dax Frostbite, who is their GM, so it's a mandatory pick. They have to take him here at the second round. We're going to see the exact same thing now here from Norfolk at pick 11. We've got Dorfus Jimbo Jr., Scorp's player. And, what can we say about Scorp except that Scorp
This was a reach. Yeah, this is such a reach. Also, yeah, that's not Bot Dog, so I'm very confused about that render.
I mean, yeah, if it's not Bot Dog, it's not Scorp. Infinite must have messed up here. Saba, the reason I haven't brought up how long it takes you to pick is because I actually value other people's time, and so I'm trying to keep things moving.
Oh, shit.
So what that's in reference to is Portland was infamously bad at making picks efficiently this draft. In the first 18 hours of the draft, I'm pretty sure Portland took about 16 of those just to themselves. Just an obscene amount of time. So that's what that is. But let's move on to pick number 12. Another shocker pick, I'm sure you'll see. And they're going to be taking 0-2 from Jackets 28, aka Starboy. So this is another GM player who has to be taken in the second round, and will be kind of the pillar of Kansas City's offense here at quarterback. And that'll move us to another Norfolk pick. Let's see who we've got at 13. We are taking Herbalti. I love this kid so much. In rookie chat the other night, we were making T puns back and forth, and I'd already known we'd picked him, and I was just like, I'm so excited to have this kid in my locker room because he's going to be a good one. Oh, you guys went on without me.
This train keeps rolling, Bex. Keeps rolling.
Kansas City at pick 14 is taking Red Arrow, a wide receiver to complement that quarterback that they just picked. Red Arrow is a super solid sim league guy. Definitely someone who's going to be good to have around as you're trying to get and stay established as an expansion team.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of high praise for him, so Kansas City really got a steal there.
Indeed. Alrighty, so now we have back-to-back Portland picks. At 15, they will be taking Perry Tucker Jr. From Perry 88. Perry is an older member of the league. Went away for a bit and now has come back. Yeah, so excited to see what he accomplishes in Portland and accomplishes in the league overall now that he's back. Portland at 16 now will also be taking QB Crusher from user wildcard09. I also like this kid. He has been super, super active. I believe he's been earning as well. And I think that that defensive push here that Portland's just made. So they took their quarterback round 1. Now they've got 2 really solid defensive players to add. They also have pick 17 because it's Portland time. So let's see who they go for at 17. They're taking He Hate Me pick 6.
Yeah, I happen to know that Myrtle Beach was kind of upset about this pick because they had been talking to this guy a lot and they was hoping he'd fall a little bit further. He has been one of the most active talkers in Rookie Discord since he's joined, and there was a lot of hype about him.
Absolutely. I've gotten to talk to him a little bit in the past day or so about ideas for the league as well. I think he's going to be a really great member of this community. So excited to see him start his career now. Alrighty, let's turn over now to pick 18 from Minnesota. And they're taking Sardine Beaner from Josh with a bunch of numbers. So this kind of seems like an obvious pick if you know anything about the GMs over in Minnesota. So Wolker and Bauer are both PBE guys. Josh is over in PBE. And you have a defensive tackle. So you have a position that you want to get if you can in a guy that they know and that they know is going to be solid. So they were super happy to have him fall down here into the third so they could grab him. Alrighty. That'll bring us into pick number 19 for Kansas City. They're taking Chris Cross, wide receiver from user Voltage. This one is maybe a little bit of a surprise because you're seeing Kansas City here now pick back-to-back wide receivers. But awesome guy, awesome user. Should be good to have around for them. Maybe we'll see some more yeeting of the ball this season.
Yeah, and with their GM being a quarterback, they're making it really obvious what their intentions this season are going to be.
Totally fair, totally fair. Okay, we'll go in now to pick 20 for Norfolk. We are taking Ryan Scott from user Master Cashier, who is not watching the stream because he's in Vegas, ?
Yes, he abandoned us for Vegas. Who misses their draft for Vegas?
I mean, that's a pretty good deal.
I have loved seeing Master Cashier around. I think he's going to be, in addition to being just a stellar linebacker, that's stellar community presence, which is really something that we're striving for. And we will go into yet another Portland pick. They're taking Justice Green, wide receiver from Young TB. YTB is a longtime member of the league, recently retired his future Hall of Fame running back. So, I mean, you know, this is someone who knows how the league works and who seems to be in it for the long haul. So definitely a good piece here for Portland to take. Alrighty, and then that'll turn us over to pick 22 from Myrtle Beach. and they're taking Alex Sabor from Sabor the Wave Runner. It's the part of the draft where everyone's taking wide receivers. And it's hard not to when all of the wide receivers that you're seeing are just such solid picks.
Yeah. People start panicking a little bit when you see all the wide receivers start coming off the board, so they go in groups.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, let's turn over to pick 23, which is, shockingly enough, also Portland. They're taking Gregor McGregor from Conoco. Conoco's a really awesome person. She just retired her kicker. So, she's around, she's dedicated, and now trying things out on the defensive side.
Yeah, she was really solid earning on her kicker. I think she just kind of got bored with it because she wanted a little bit more to do, so yeah, she went to linebacker.
Excited to see how that plays out for her. Alrighty, pick 24 will bring us to Minnesota, and they're going to be taking Baby Yoda from Swag Sloth. Swag is a longtime member. He's a GM over in Arizona. Super lovely dude. One of my favorite people in the league, if I'm super honest. So to see him fall is a little bit surprising, but then you have to think he's probably only a 1-year rental at best.
The fact that Scorp went before Baby Yoda is kind of a tragedy here.
It is just a little bit. But I mean, ideally the force will be with him over in Minnesota. Alrighty. Terrible jokes aside, we'll go on to pick 25 for Norfolk.
I appreciated that joke.
Thank you. We're taking Atlas Quinn, Pie, another super solid person that I had on my wish list for players if we could get them. Has just been a really solid presence. I want to say he's been earning fairly decently as well.
Yeah, and he's just been insane in all of the Discords, and it's really great to get a guy like this to help build the locker room there in Norfolk.
Absolutely. Alrighty, we'll move on to pick 26 for Kansas City. They're taking John Boyce from user Rambo Hamster. This guy has been super hyped today, so I'm hoping that he is still around and hyping because Kansas City will be a super fun place for him. And yeah, hype. Alrighty, this will bring us to Portland's pick 27. They're taking Otis Allen, user Colt Classic. Defensive tackle here. Really solid defensive piece. Issa, you have thoughts on Mr. Allen?
Yeah, I really thought that he was one of the more solid defensive tackles in this class, and the fact that Portland was able to pick up a guy like that all the way at the 27th pick is kind of impressive.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it just goes to show how insanely weird this class is. There's so many great people at so many different positions that everyone's kind of jumping around and picking who they think might be their best fit, and it's fascinating to see, really. Let's keep going here with pick 28 for Myrtle Beach. They are taking Rapid Eagle. He is the one who made the really cool GIF with his player in the different uniforms.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest things I have seen in the league, period. I absolutely love that.
Absolutely. So, I mean, what more can you want out of a person? He's a defensive tackle. He is very excited to be part of the league and putting in the work to make really cool things. So I'm very, very excited to see where he goes from here. Alrighty, and then we are going to Tijuana, their pick 29. They're going to be taking Daniel Winkler from Monkey Snuffles.
That's a great name, by the way.
It is
That
a
is
great
a very great name.
It is a truly great name. I don't know that I know anything about this user off the top of my head.
No, I have not seen him much in the chats, but he has been doing a solid job of getting all of his tasks done and everything. So clearly Tijuana saw a guy that's looking to earn pretty well, and they jumped on it.
Absolutely. Okay, that'll bring us to pick 30 for Minnesota. They're taking Jerome Davis, user Get Right. They had been eyeing Chris Cross, and so when they lost out on him, they knew that they wanted to go for a solid wide receiver here. This is someone who went to Minnesota on waivers. They knew that he was a good fit already for the locker room. And they are really going to try and give him the best shot that they can at giving him wide receiver of the year, given their quarterback situation. Perfect. And then we will go to pick 31 for Kansas City. They're taking Chipotle. Chip.
Another
The
great
names
name.
of this class are so fantastic. This is one of the people that I think I was hoping would fall to us, because he's just such a solid guy. Has been really, really fun to see him interact with other folks. Yeah, and it's just going to be a great person for Kansas City to have. That'll bring us to pick 32 for Norfolk. We're taking Juniped Catfish. Go ahead.
No, just another guy that we're insanely happy to have, just purely off of his activity. Like I said, one of our biggest goals for Norfolk was to start building a locker room, and he has been one of the most active guys in this class. I mean, the dude has 500 messages in just less than a week in Rookie Discord. So it's just great to get him.
I believe Judy's also the one who doesn't know a ton about football, which is the most relatable thing for me because I didn't know anything about football when I started. So always excited to have a vaguely confused running back to buddy up with.
Oh, absolutely.
Alrighty. We're going to go ahead now to pick 33 for Portland.
As long as they don't run backwards, right?
Yes.
They're going to be taking Joan Arc from Ultima Commander 47. Another person who I've seen around a tiny bit. Anybody have notes on this wonderful new member of our community?
I have not actually seen him around much, so I really don't have much on him.
He's a D-line user. That says all it needs to.
That is true. That's big.
He's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. D-line actives are very hard to find, so that's something on itself.
Absolutely. Saba is typing, so Saba might say something wonderful about this person.
Nope. Saba just was like, nah, you guys keep going.
I saw him typing. He had the opportunity. I've given him the chance. But, oh, no. By the way, he says, I think this is where he reminds me to say Portland is awesome. Because he does that. Every time I ask the GMs to give me notes, so I have stuff to say. And then Saba always reminds me to say that Portland is amazing.
Just Portland's awesome. That's it.
And then they never give you notes?
Some of them do. Some of them do, and some of them definitely don't.
Some of them give you 4 pages of notes. Others give you Portland is awesome.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Okay, so he so apparently this user reached out to Portland like directly to say this person is like, hey, I'm super dedicated, I'm gonna max earn, and so that really spoke to Portland, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna pick him up and take him. Well, I'm mentioning notes that people are sending me. I'm supposed to say that Bauer is the best GM, which may or may not be true. We shall see.
I'm hearing some bias here.
No bias. No bias at all.
Oh, Bex. Baxter in chat says almost how slow he was at drafting, which is a very good point.
Just the slowest. Oh, wonderful stuff.
Okay, pick 34.
Yes, sorry. Pick 34 for Myrtle Beach. They're going to be taking Larry Longshot from user Tricky Troy 2. Here you have another defensive player coming off the board here. I don't know if I've seen... Oh, go ahead.
No, he's actually been around a good bit. He had a small group there. A small break there around Thursday, but just popped back in today. At this point, the defensive linemen were starting to come off the board, so I feel like Myrtle Beach wanted to get ahead of the line and get the guy that they saw was the best choice for them.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, I hope that's a super good fit for them. And we will turn over to pick 35 now for Portland.
And Toasty just joined us.
Yay,
Indeed.
Toasty! Cool. So Portland here is taking Osiris Firestorm Fjord from Half Eaten Onion Bagel. Another super solid recreate here. Onion Bagel is super fun guy, and has been around a while and kind of knows what he's doing.
This was a very, very strong tight end class. Like, this is probably the strongest tight end class I have seen since I have joined the league. And Onion Bagel was definitely one of the top choices out of this group. So Portland did a good job of getting this guy early.
Absolutely. Perfect. That'll bring us on to 36 for Myrtle Beach. They're taking Jack Marnett. Another person I don't know if I've seen around a ton on Discord, but you can't go wrong with taking a CV who might be solid.
No, and I mean, he's been active on the forums, but like I said, I mean, as long as you're earning, you don't necessarily always have to be active on Discord.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I'm just predominantly Discord active, so if I say I haven't seen you on Discord, it's because that's where I live, and I'm on the forums less than I probably should be. Perfect. That'll bring us to pick 37 for Norfolk. We're taking Tequila Sunrise. I love Tequila. I've really enjoyed seeing him around in rookie chat.
Yeah, we actually did not think he was going to drop this far. We debated possibly taking him at our previous pick. So it was great to actually see him slip here.
Absolutely. Is Tequila the one that I'm thinking about that we had a moment in rookie chat where we were like, wait, hold up, or is that a different?
Yes, that is the one.
Yes. So Tequila was talking about positions switching or like changing archetypes, and we were sitting there going, oh no.
Yeah, because we had already picked Junie, and we realized that Tequila was a receiving back, and we figured we could line him up as wide receiver, and then he started talking about switching to speed back, and we had a small panic moment.
That would have been horrible.
Yeah.
Like, we would have supported Tequila regardless of what he wanted to do, but it was that moment where I was like, oh, I'm so mad that we can't, like, if he wants to, it's gonna happen, but please, fingers crossed, can we stall him at least? Wonderful. All right, that's gonna bring us on to pick 38 for Kansas City. They're taking Rando Cardrician from Gunnar Bear. Gunnar Bear is another recreate, someone who has been around, knows what they're doing. Is a really solid pick here to complement the wide receivers that they've already added to their offense. Perfect. Let's go ahead and bring it to pick 39 for Portland. They are taking Jack Marius, Tack the Tree. Oh.
Come on, Bex, you can do it.
Buddy, I can't do it.
You tried.
I did my best. There's just too many letters. Every time I have to type out this name too, I cry a little bit inside because they're getting the letters in the right order is just a mess for me.
Matt's actually a guy that we were hoping would fall a little bit further. I thought he was probably the strongest defensive lineman on the board. And as you can see, Portland is definitely building a wall, just not on the offensive line.
Absolutely. Okay. It's going to bring us here now to pick 40 for Myrtle Beach. They're taking Leon McDavid from MN Moosey. I love my Minnesota people, and so I had him kind of in the back of my mind as we were going through to see if we could potentially scoop him up. But alas, he's going over to be a beach boy, and he will be loved very well by the GMs over there, I'm sure. Perfect. All right, let's move on to pick 41 for Tijuana. They're taking Dillard Holcomb from Ms. Obvious. Miz is a PPE guy, super solid over there. He GMs for one of their minor league teams. So obviously experienced in sim leagues, kind of knows how things go around here. Just a super solid person for them to be adding on.
Yeah, absolutely. This is another one that I was hoping would fall a little bit further, but no such luck.
Indeed. Cool. Let's move on to pick 42 for Minnesota. They'll be taking Matt Hole from Hi, My Name is Matt. So Matt told Minnesota that he was expected to be more of a casual earner, but that's not something Minnesota's afraid of in the slightest. They know what it's like to have kind of one of those slower earning defensive ends.
Do they? Do they really? Yeah,
they have a little bit of experience with that.
Oh, you mother.
Luckily, you don't have to earn at a quick rate to set records in the DSFL.
Indeed. And I want to say, Franchi, that I'm not trying to drag you. This is literally in the notes that Wolker sent me.
I feel personally attacked, Wolkers.
Like, Minnesota does not shy away from slow earning defensive ends. We have a history of excellent luck with them. See Mike Franchette. Yes. So he's another one of Minnesota's trade deadline people. So went to them on waivers. So they know exactly what they're getting here. They know that it's going to be a good fit already. This will bring us now to pick 43 for Kansas City. You're taking Riles McTackle.
This one actually hurt me. This was the first pick in the draft that I actually felt like got stolen from us. He was
Yep.
he was actually the next guy on our board, and we were so excited because all that was left was Kansas City, and they took him right in front of our eyes. It hurt.
Indeed. But I mean, he's such a solid person, and like you can't go wrong with a super active, super solid defensive tackle. So love him well, Kansas City, because he's a great guy. So we're gonna go ahead and move to pick 44 for Norfolk. We are taking Jeff Perstensacker. Just such a wonderful name.
Yeah, we got kind of lucky on him because he kind of really came alive as the draft was happening. And had Saba, bless his soul, not taken so long, we may have not have grabbed him when we did.
This is true.
So, Saba was kind of a blessing in disguise there.
Mm-hmm. I remember looking at kind of our pieces and going, okay, can we find a way to take him? And came up with a couple of options there. And as soon as we knew that we could make it work, we're like, okay, that's our pick. Just super excited to be having him on board with us. That'll bring us into pick 45 for Portland.
What are these renders?
I wish I could tell you. Infinite puts them together, and they're they're something. So they're going to be taking Logan Noble Jr. from It's Just Barry. Barry's awesome. Barry's AGM over in Chicago. Took a little bit of a break from the league, and then he came back super strong, and so excited to see him stepping up here. We'll see if Barry's around for Portland for longer than a season. I would kind of doubt it because he more than likely will be going straight up to Chicago.
Yeah, and that's really the reason he fell. Everybody knows that Chicago's roster is kind of on the weaker side right now, and with their GM coming up, they knew that he was going to be out the door pretty fast.
Indeed. So let's go ahead and move now into pick 46 for Myrtle Beach.
Pancake Squad.
Yeah, they're going to be taking Douglas Quayle from Dynamic Doug. Dynamic Doug is someone I spoke to fairly early on when he started up with the league doing Ultimates Week. Super sweet person. Really solid. And, you got to give those fair rubs. So excited to see some O-line going here.
Yeah, he was easily the best offensive lineman in the draft. I actually talked to one of Myrtle Beach's GMs after this pick because this guy has an insane amount of TPE sitting in his bank right now for an offensive lineman, and I think Myrtle Beach got an absolute steal here.
Very good, very good. Alrighty, we'll move into 47 for Tijuana. They're taking Rusty Nails from Howie Jr. III. Rusty was one of their waiver persons, so came to them for part of the season. Seemed to be another really great culture fit. So I'm sure he's pretty glad right now to be going back home to Mexico for the season. Very good. We'll move on now to pick 48 for Kansas City. They're taking Jeremy Quellers.
I actually did not know much about him coming into the draft, but he has gotten a little bit more active since the draft has gone on and after the draft. So I do feel like Kansas City got a solid steal with that one.
Absolutely. Alrighty, that concludes the first almost half of this presentation.
Almost half.
And we still have those actives popping, actives everywhere. So good job so far, season 21. We're very proud of you. Our next pick is 49 for Tijuana, I believe. They're taking Dougie Smalls. I see Doug, who is a longtime user of the site, former GM, coming back as a kicker. So definitely excited to see him sticking around the league for another recreate.
Yeah, he's also a Tijuana veteran that Tijuana just did not want to risk dropping any further because you always want to try to get your guys back when they're recreating.
Absolutely. Perfect. Move on to pick 50 for Kansas City here. They are taking Lefty Lewis.
Yeah, this one.
This one, he's best kicker according to himself. He'll pop in and remind you every once in a while.
Possibly best kicker according to me. I was so heartbroken. This was another one that was targeted with our next pick, and again, Kansas City kind of got in there and messed up our plans.
Yep. One of the notes I have from Kansas City on Lefty here is, not only is he one of the best kickers in the draft, but he and Chip have had kind of a little friendly rivalry. So they're bringing those two rivals together to see how that'll play out, which can be a little bit of fun. So, very good. Very good. We'll turn over now to pick 51 for Portland. They're taking Emmett Higgins, user Hoppy75, another O-line boy. I know that not the only team who was looking at Hoppy in this round.
No, Myrtle Beach was very upset about Saba on this one. Their whole plan was based around kind of building their offensive line this season, and they had their eyes on him. And as Frost said earlier, Saba robbed them like 5 times in this draft.
Which is sad to see, but it's part of the game. So wonderful stuff. That'll turn us over now to pick 52, since they can't pick their Higgins. Who are they taking here? They're taking Smolder Bravestone. Big trust. Someone that we had also had our eye on over in Norfolk. Super excited to be here, even if he's on the quieter side.
Yeah, because he was quiet, we actually thought that he would drop further than this, and unfortunately, he was picked up right before we were able to pick again. So,
but we know that Myrtle Beach is such a great spot, so hopefully they'll get him engaged and keep him active. That'll bring us to pick 53 for Norfolk. We're taking Remen Curry Suto, user Lemon. This is one of the people who I like. He didn't have an update page when we were drafting. He had done some Ultimus Week stuff, and so we knew he was going to fall a little bit. And we were hoping to pick him up when we could. Super solid guy. He has since made an update page, so we know he's at least hoping to be around for a little bit longer.
Yeah, we noticed that he had started doing some earning without actually doing his update page, so we were actually kind of relying on him falling because people didn't see him having an update page. And we kind of jumped on him the moment we saw Bravestone go because we definitely wanted to get a wide receiver out of this draft, and he was pretty high on our board.
Absolutely. Perfect. We'll turn over to back-to-back picks here for Minnesota. At 54, they're going to go ahead and take Austin Brechio. They had already grabbed a running back when they grabbed Swag, but they know that Swag is one of those short-term guys. And then Williams is getting called up for Baltimore. So kind of stocking up some extra running backs is not a bad move here. Brechio is a super excellent user, steady earner. Definitely the kind of talent that Minnesota was looking for. Alrighty, and then with pick 55, they're going to go ahead and take Rainier Wolfcastle. This is someone that I know that we had looked at potentially taking as well, so seeing him go was a bummer. But yeah, super great guy. They already do have a tight end, but they're going to have another here to add to those offensive weapon pieces.
Yeah, he was actually the top tight end on my board at the time of this, and we were debating going tight end, but once again, because this is such a strong tight end class, we felt like we could wait just a little bit longer.
Indeed. Wonderful stuff. All right, pick 56 for Norfolk. We're taking Pete Miller, Born X Bombers, who is not necessarily like crazy Discord active, but is super solid on the forums.
Yeah, he actually joined around the trade deadline, and he's been a solid earner ever since. So grabbing a active defensive tackle in the 50s was really exciting.
Absolutely. Alrighty. We'll turn over to 57 for Portland. They're taking Vance Amato Hackett, who is a recreate. He was not on a lot of people's radars right away because he was one of those like mid-draft creates, if I'm remembering correctly. But Saba, the sharp eye, was keeping an eye out, saw him, knew that that's the kind of player that he wanted to grab, and went ahead and took him. Alrighty, we'll go ahead now to pick 58 for Myrtle Beach. They're taking Dylan Green, another O-line boy from Dylan G5.
Yeah, this is always their goal. Like I said, they were really looking to build Myrtle Beach's version of the wall, and they just kept going with it throughout.
I mean, I'll take any appreciation get, so it's super exciting to see them go ahead and double down on that offensive line. Speaking of the wall, let's turn over now to pick 59 for Tijuana. They are taking Richard Gardner, the other O-line on the board here. He's your Golden Foot 9.
Yeah, fair rubs. It was surprising to see all the offensive linemen come off with so many actives still on the board, and we've still got almost 50 picks left to go, and all the offensive linemen are off.
It's an interesting change, but I love to see it. I'm always a fan of the offensive line. I can't be a running back without having some appreciation for my human O-line folk. So
got to give out those fair rubs.
Absolutely, you do. Alrighty, that'll bring us to pick 60 for Minnesota. And they're going to be taking Hunter Young from user Confusion. They had noticed that he had fallen, were pretty shocked about that, but knew that they didn't want to let him fall any farther. Super excited to be bringing on that third active defensive lineman. That defense is going to be scary to see.
The suspense.
I know. I have to wait for it to load on my screen so I know that we're actually moving on.
Yeah.
We're going to move on for pick 61 for Norfolk. We're taking Reynaud Hoagland, user Boomcheck. Issa, this is one of your people you were really excited about, yeah?
Yeah, he's actually a Sim League veteran. I can't remember off the top of my head which Sim Leagues he is in, but he's not actually in our rookie Discord, but he is in the general Discord. And I was excited to get a guy like him this late.
Absolutely. Great. We'll move on to pick 62 for Kansas City now.
Oh, he's SBA.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Kansas City's taking Rusty Shackelford, user Drunken Thunder. Picking up some more defensive pieces here.
Let's see.
Is Vex rooting for Minnesota or Norfolk? Norfolk, always. But Minnesota's a close second.
And Minnesota also gave us a lot of notes on their guys ahead of time, so.
Yep. I think the note that I have here from Kansas City on Rusty is that the name is super fun, which is exceptionally valid.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're moving on to pick 63 for Portland. They're taking Raheem Okusi from user Raheem James, wide receiver here. Super excited. Do we have notes on Raheem?
He was actually another guy that joined after the trade deadline. I haven't seen him much around rookie chat, but Scorp did mention that he was insanely active in Tijuana. So with any hope, Portland got a pretty solid pick here.
Awesome. Good. We'll move on to pick 64 from Myrtle Beach. They're taking Trevor Mouseman, user Mr. Mouseman here, who I know I've seen around today. So definitely still around. I'm sure still earning. Not a solid linebacker option for over in on the beach. This will bring us to pick 65 for Tijuana. They're taking Grand Salami, solid wide receiver here. Haven't seen as much super recently, but I know that when he was around was super enthusiastic.
Yeah, it's been a little bit since we've seen him, but he was another one of those trade deadline creates, so he's got a little bit of TPE saved up. So if Tijuana can get him active again, that's going to be awesome for them.
Absolutely. Alrighty, let's go ahead then to pick 66 for Minnesota. They're going to be taking Rico Suave. This one, they were looking at positions of need. Defensive back was a little bit light, so they decided to double down on another safety. Hasn't earned much yet, but has been around, and they're hoping that they can get him engaged and keep him active and earning.
Also, the University of Hypothetical Diplomas.
Good catch. I totally would have just breezed past that. That's stellar. I love that. Oh, amazing. Okay. Pick 67 for Kansas City. They're taking Tree Gelpman from Reno Jackson HS.
Tree.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm surprised Tree fell this far because he is quite an active player. And to see him slip by a couple of guys that are semi-active was quite surprising for me. So Kansas City, once again, got a really, really solid steal at this point.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay. We'll move on to pick 68 for Norfolk. They're taking Robin Reynolds from user KCAR.
This was a guy that I believe Beck's notice was really starting to come around when we were picking. He was not on my radar at all because I hadn't really seen him. And then Bex was like, hey, we're getting towards the edge of actives at this point, and this guy has been popping off in Rookie Discord. And he has been insanely explosive over the last couple of days, so I'm super excited to get him at this point.
Mm-hmm. I have the laser eyes for running backs, finding really cool ones that I want to be friends with.
Next pick, by the way, has to be legendary.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Everyone hold on. It's pick 69.
The mean pick.
So Portland has pick 69. Let's go ahead and see who they've taken. And they're taking Dixon Uraz. Thank you, Portland.
Legendary.
Pick 69 has to be the most sexual meme name we have in any given draft. In season 18, we had Jack Me Off. Was our pick 69?
Yes. And it doesn't matter who else is left on the board. This is tradition. This is the way it has to go.
Yes. So, thank you, Saba, for giving us that wonderful, wonderful gift. We're going to go ahead and pick 7D for Myrtle Beach. They're taking John Smear from Muford. Muford is a vet. I know that Issa, you have big feelings about Muford.
Yeah, this is another one of our recreates. This guy is a legend in our community. We weren't sure if he was coming back. He took some time off, so it's really exciting to see him really get back into the league. And again, this was a steal by Myrtle Beach.
Absolutely. Alrighty, we'll turn over to pick 71 for Tijuana. They're taking Gronk Robertowski. These are I Am Dumbledore.
Also, another great render.
Yeah, very, very solid render there.
I love that picture. Like, it makes me just like slightly uncomfortable, but I love it.
As a Patriots fan, I got a lot of flack for letting this one fall past us. So I hope he stays active, and maybe I'll get another chance at him here in a month or so.
Perhaps. All right, wonderful. Who has pick 72? It is Minnesota. Who is Minnesota taking? Good old speedometer. defensive back still a position of weakness for them, so they're still trying to stockpile them.
I know that there's a couple of the guys that joined around the same time that were a big fan of his. He has been kind of low on activity, but a locker room like Minnesota has a good chance to get him back.
Absolutely. And I think, yeah, the folks over there are really good at getting people back in the cycle of things. So I hope that's a good fit for them. We'll go ahead and bring it to pick 73 for Norfolk. Who is Norfolk adding here? We're taking Thelonious Junk. We needed a kicker. The kickers left on the board at this point were either lower active or inactive. We had drafted some of the folks who are friends with Thelonious Junk, so we're hoping that he's going to be a solid pick for us to have an active kicker on our roster.
Yeah, I mean, he's even been around today talking, so it's really exciting to get a active player in the 70s. This draft class is actually insane.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so this brings us to pick 74. They're going to be taking Andrew Nova. Running back here, I saw him today, which is very exciting. So still around. Yeah, and I think he made an update page today as well. So intending to get started in that as well. That'll go ahead and bring us to pick 75 for Portland. They're taking Jay Palmer. User Tank Alpha.
This was another trade deadline create. He's already got some stored up TPEs. So again, it looked like Saba came into this draft fully intending to build a defensive wall, and he has completely drafted a defensive line. So I think he got what he set out to do.
Absolutely. Very cool. Let's bring it on to pick 76 for Myrtle Beach. They're taking Chris Ramos from Point God. Did they draft a quarterback earlier? Who did they take earlier?
You've actually, I believe they did.
There's so many people in this draft.
There is. I've lost track.
Chris Ramos is Rangeway's friend and also a recreate, and they didn't have a quarterback.
No, they did not have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Because both the quarterbacks that they were targeting came off the board before they were able to pick, so they got Jeff.
Perfect. Thank you, Frost, for sending me that little note. But yeah, so like Brandley is a huge presence in the Myrtle Beach locker room, so being able to grab one of his friends is awesome. So excellent move for the Beachy Boys. Alrighty. For Tijuana pick 77, they're taking Cameron West. Cameron West, who I've seen around today, so definitely still active. And again, you cannot argue with that active defensive tackle. You cannot.
Yeah, an active defensive tackle at 77. These guys usually go in the first 20 picks, which is a testament to how crazy this class is. It's absolutely
so stacked. Insane. I hope, and this is to anyone who's still watching, like I want you all to stay as active as you are right now, and get your friends who've gone slightly inactive back in. Because if we can bring this activity level to the NSFL, like the GMs over there are going to weep. And I want that.
We already are. What are you talking about?
Anyway, I love it. That'll bring us to 78 from Minnesota. They're going to be taking J. Jameson. A PBE guy, a late season waiver claim for them. They decided that they wanted to scoop him up. Yeah, excited to have that new kicker there. Alrighty, for next pick, we have 79 for Kansas City. They're taking Ty Palmatier, linebacker here. Someone we had also considered taking, I believe.
Yes, he is He is very much still active. He hasn't been much around the chats lately, but I have talked to him in DMs as recently as yesterday. So great pick by Kansas City.
This is what I was saying earlier when I was saying how even to go later, you have the absolute opportunity to be a steal here. All of these picks are steals. That'll bring us to pick 80 for Norfolk. We're taking Jay-Z Kitty. Solid safety here. Someone who I believe I've also seen today, so definitely still around. Slightly surprising to see go this far down a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is another guy that I was talking to yesterday. I was still looking around, scouting, trying to get a feel for the activity of the class, and he is absolutely still active and came highly recommended from the MLR guys whenever he first joined. So it's great to get him here.
Absolutely. Awesome person to have our one of our big steals for sure. Pick 81 for Portland. They're going to be taking Colburn Frost, who I believe has kind of stepped away a little bit. If they see him come back, though, that's a really solid kicker pick. That'll bring us to pick 82 for Myrtle Beach. They're taking Rodkis Scott, who is in rookie right now, so definitely still around.
I was actually surprised to see him fall this far. I think because he kind of came active late in the draft process. He kind of fell, but he has been absolutely explosive today with the draft inbound.
Absolutely. So, yeah, enjoy Myrtle Beach. It'll be a great place for you. We're going to go to pick 83 for Tijuana. They're taking Matt Meager. He's your scissor tree. I've seen them on Discord. Have they been on the forum?
No, this one was kind of tragic. He was very, very active when he first joined, but we were having some issues with waivers at the time where there really wasn't any more room for the position. And so he ended up sitting on waivers for a little while and ended up going inactive. But if they can get him back active, that will be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. This will bring us to pick 84 for Minnesota. This one, they're taking Bubba Twatford. I have a very special note to read about Bubba.
We know why this one was taken here.
Oh, God.
So, we've heard rumors that Bubba Twatford is IA. We've heard rumors that he abandoned the NSFL for the SBA. We've heard rumors that he saw there was another Bubba T and bailed. Well, someone from the MLR tell Bubba that Bubba got a hold of him, that he'd like to see him come back and be the linebacker the league deserves.
Yes, I approve of this message.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Walker was insanely excited to see him come in, and then he just went IA immediately. The disappointment was palpable.
Because we have a lot of new folks here, I will clarify. Walker, the GM for Minnesota, his player is Bubba Thumper of the Colorado Yeti, and so they were he was super excited to have another Bubba, and they were Bubba buddies. And then Twatford just said, and then peaced.
What a word combination there. Bubba buddies.
Bubba buddies,
yes. It's what they would have been. It was their destiny, and now it's been robbed from us. But anyway, if he comes back, that'd be legendary. Pick 85 for Norfolk is going to be taking Bobby Portis.
He is.
The reason this person had fallen as far as they did was that they weren't technically approved. There was still some issues with player page. Is that correct?
Yes, he is actually having a little bit of issue with his with getting his basic page set up, but I actually helped him sort through that today, and he is entirely active.
Excellent stuff. Well, we are glad to be adding him on there. That'll bring us to pick 86 for Kansas City. They're taking Churro Chess. from user Chocolate Nipples. Someone who I believe is IA, but what a name.
What a tragedy.
I know. Yes. Alrighty. Let's see. Pick 87 is going to be a Portland pick. They're going to be taking new player. I'll change this later. I love this guy.
Yeah, it's a tragedy he fell this far. I don't know how Myrtle Beach actually let him fall this far, because he's been sitting on Myrtle Beach for 2 seasons as their kicker. So it's kind of surprising to see them let him drop. And Portland absolutely gets a steal from here. We actually picked him up in New Orleans as a DSFL only pick so he could get paid this season. And he's literally in our locker room every day.
Mm-hmm. One of those people who you definitely see more on the Discord side of things, but solid presence, super fun guy. So hopefully Portland it appreciates that really solid presence there. So we're going to move on now to pick 88, Myrtle Beach. They're taking Joe Torres from Joe Crack 0321.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen this person around a ton, but if he is still around and doing stuff, that's going to be an absolutely excellent pick for them. Perfect. Pick 89 for Tijuana. They forfeited this pick. So we were on a pick timer. So if you exceed the amount of time, you get skipped.
Yeah, sucks to be you.
It is deeply tragic. So either way, we'll storm straight ahead to pick 90. They are taking Everett Woodward, wide receiver. User Cool Everett. Is this one of our newer side of folks?
Yeah, I think he just created like Thursday or Friday, so people weren't really sure what to expect with him. That's why he is falling as far as he has.
Definitely. Okay. Well, solid pick. Let me check my Minnesota notes here. Yeah.
No time to check your notes.
On to Kansas City.
Screw my notes. Kansas City with pick 91 is taking Kival Shah from user Cosmo Ablaze. Let us see. If I talk, you won't switch it, right?
Go ahead.
Oh, they don't have any notes on this one.
Oh, great, okay. Great.
Super awesome name, though. We're into it. Alrighty, let's go on to pick 92 for the Goat Boats.
Oh, God.
We're taking Rub A Chicken, which this person should not have fallen this far. But we're very glad you did, so that we could add you to our crew here.
Yeah, he's a brand new create. He's been insanely active inside the chat, so I'm insanely happy to have him.
Indeed. Awesome dude. Excited to have him on our roster. We'll move on now to pick 93 for Portland. They are taking Jade Bridges, another wide receiver here. Not sure that I've seen this person around a ton. Maybe they might be on the newer side.
I don't really know much about this one either. Maybe Portland can hit us up a bit. Oh, he's an SBA guy.
Solid. That makes sense.
Telling us.
We love it. All right. For 94, we are going to see Myrtle Beach take Dylan Pickle from user Dylan Shear. Part of the reason you're seeing someone like this fall this far is because all the teams had taken a quarterback, and the rules with playtime on quarterback are a little bit strict, so it can be kind of difficult to fit them in. But I've seen Dylan around today. So super excited to have you still here, and Myrtle Beach is going to find a way to make that work for you.
I have been told by Myrtle Beach that there is a good chance that one of these two quarterback picks have already been talking about position changing before the draft was even over. So.
Perfect. Then that'll be a good fit there for them, making all of that work. Perfect. Pick 95 for Tijuana is going to go for Nick Nation. We don't know anything about Nick, but wonderful.
I've always been a big fan of Nick's, so.
For sure. Yeah, lots of running backs. So you see a couple of those kind of late game running backs coming off the board now. For pick 96, Minnesota is going to be taking Luke McMaster. Let me see what notes I have here. Oh, this is one. So this guy created while the draft was happening. Woker had not noticed until someone else pinged him to help in Gen Chat with this person. So he got the ping, noticed, and then immediately went into the draft to claim him.
Yeah, this dude was picked like 15 minutes after he created his player, so...
Yep.
Just rookie mentor things.
Indeed, yes. So, yeah, shout out to Frost for tipping Woker off about this.
Yeah, thanks, Frost. We were hoping you'd be quiet about it.
Frost just messaged me to say, I pinged Woker, and I regret.
Yes.
For pick 97, Norfolk is going to go ahead and take Top Secret, a linebacker here. Have not seen around since he created, but if we can get him back.
So he has been quiet. I haven't seen him around, but our locker room is currently exploding about us getting him. So I feel really good about this pick all of a sudden.
I mean, he's not IA. He's
I don't
just
know
undercover.
if it's good or no, but
they either love it or hate it. And
yeah, I can't tell.
Either way, we're gonna move straight on to pick 98 for Kansas City. They're taking Shakir Ahmed from Shock 24. Yeah, someone created another tight end. I don't know if they're still active, but if they are, excellent for Kansas City. If not, we're getting towards the end. Alrighty.
Yeah,
pick 99. We're gonna go ahead and take Nicolini Domenicolas, user Papa Khan for Portland. Another running back, one of the lower active running backs, which is why you're seeing them at this this spot. We're now in the home stretch. For pick 100 for Myrtle Beach, they will be taking Horatio Espinoza from Epic Mouse. Again, another running back. I believe inactive, but all good either way. Pick 101 for Tijuana, they will be taking Scotty McGuy.
I love this name. This name actually got a lot of hype whenever he created, but he didn't really do much past the initial creation.
Well, if he pops back in, absolute steal possibility right here. Perfect. For pick 102, Minnesota will be taking Leonard Jacobs, quarterback. An inactive quarterback, if I'm correct. But if he comes back, they will find a way to make that work. Pick 103 for Kansas City will be Michael Henson, who was around today. So when we talk about absolute steals here.
Yeah, pick 103. Like, we're almost at the end of the draft. Here we are with another active player.
Mm-hmm. Because this class is insane. Perfect. We'll move on to pick 104 for Norfolk. which is Mike Hampton. Either inactive or close to inactive kicker. But if he comes back, he shows up again, we can have that kicker punter duo with our other one that we have. So we have options, Mike. Come back to us. Alrighty, and this is final pick. Pick 105.
Yeah.
Mr. Buster Hyman from User Sale. Again, part of the reason you're seeing someone like this fall so far is you've got the quarterback situation. So hard to play two quarterbacks. But good news, Sale has position switched. He's now a safety. So definitely going to be an excellent option for Portland to move forward with that. And that is the end of our draft.
A whopping 105 picks.
I was wrong. I thought it was 104, but no, it's 105.
105.
Which is absolutely insane. And again, like I said at the beginning, regardless of where you went, in what order, we're excited to have you as part of our community. And this one is kind of just a weird one. DSFL is always kind of all over the place. But you have the opportunity now to kind of show that you are a superstar in this league. Keep earning, keep being active. And we'd love to see what happens for you this season. Whether you're with Portland, whether you're with Kansas City, Tijuana, Norfolk, Myrtle Beach, Minnesota. The DSFL team and your time here in the DSFL is really about learning the league and making friends and competing for that Ultimate trophy. So we're wishing you all of the best in this season 20. And I think that's going to be the end of our stream tonight. Right before we go, Issa, who do you think won this draft?
Well, if our locker room has anything to say about it, it seems like Norfolk hands down won this draft because it looks like we only have one inactive player on our entire board.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited now.
Absolutely. I think all of the teams actually did really solidly when you look at like what their needs
it was
were.
a loaded draft. It was hard to not do well in this draft.
Mm-hmm. So I'm deeply excited to see where the season takes us. Any early predictions on who makes it to the Ultimates?
The Ducks, obviously.
Ultimini is what I meant to say, but words are hard.
Say the Ducks. The Ducks are there with Norfolk, and I've got to be a homer. It's gonna be Norfolk versus Myrtle Beach. Let's go for the former bot teams, and have a showdown.
Oh, amazing stuff! All right, thank you so much for tuning in for the draft. Thank you for sticking with us for the like hour and a half it's taken to get through all of our picks here. But we're wishing you all of the best this season. Much love from your head office and from your rookie mentor team and from all the people who are there to make your DSFL experience the best that it possibly can be. Thank you and good night.